I mean, even when I started acting, like I've never thought of making this section of my life, a movie. I think I always knew that, because I've always loved my dad's stories about growing up. He grew up in New Orleans, and he's in like a weird sort of Irish gang in New Orleans, and he's told me all these crazy stories, and I've always wanted him to write about him and put him down on paper someday, and so I think I've always looked at my life the same way, that I wanted to live in a way that I could write these stories down and sort of convey them to somebody someday. And it's weird that I've run into acting as my job, and storytelling as a part of it. And I think not up until like about a year and a half ago did I really have the idea to try to make it into something. Yeah, the first version of this that I wanted to do was, I went into the night that I went in to essentially audition for this part, or meet the people that were hiring. Is my best friend Adam. He came in and was 2 years older than me, and we got the job at the same time. I wanted to do a story where two friends kind of meet the same night, go down this rabbit hole together, and they always had the promise to each other they would get out at the same time. And one of them gets out, one of them doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
And that was sort of the idea. And then Soderbergh kind of came in, and he really found it intriguing, the idea of this 18-year-old kid getting thrown to the sharks in a way of like in entering this world of men that have been doing this, and they're just going to eat him alive. Like, this world is just going to completely corrupt him. And seeing this 18-year-old sort of kid go into that was sort of more interesting to him. So we did that instead. He's got to tell the story.
Hell yeah, it was. I was on the phone. Steven called. It was Steven Soderbergh calling on the other end of the line. He's never called me before. And he pitched this movie about this wonderful little subculture, this carny little circus subculture in the world of male stripping, and then pitched this character, this ringleader Dallas, who he wanted me to be. And I remember him saying, and if you play this straight, it can be hilarious. And that's my favorite type of humor, and I was in. Well, he said on that first call, he goes, "It's not written in the script that Dallas dances yet, but if he did, it would be great." It would be great if he did. And so my mind went to, now wait a minute, I didn't think of it. And as soon as I started, all of a sudden my heart rate went up thinking about, stripping on the thing, and I got kind of anxious about it and scared about it. And as soon as I got scared is when I said, well, yes, I have to, because it is a scary proposition. So then I was like, I don't know how, I don't know when, I don't know how, but yes, I'll figure it out. I worked that out with the two choreographers that were working on the film that were Channing's friends that he called. And one thing I knew early on after seeing Channing dance, that I didn't want to try hip hop, because he owns that. And I needed to find my own style, and I needed to find something that was classic yet was still very lusty, that was still very predatorial, very much pantherish, and then I wanted a little element of surprise, and that's why I thought it'd be a good idea to have this ballad to play first, to go really sentimental and romantic, and then just break out of that and go, now let's get it on. And that's what was fun about that.
Steven sort of just let us run.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have a lot of like input on what he wanted. He just knew that we were going to go and sort of make up some really fun stuff with the choreographers, and each guy had a lot of input on like what they wanted to do, how they wanted to do it, and if they didn't have a sort of an idea, we helped them. And it was fun for me. I always did Usher, and but when you get asked what's the one song, if you could pick any song to strip to, it was Pony by Genuine. And Usher and Genuine were two of my like favorite sort of dancers back in the day when I was growing up, and I just would have done anything to be able to like do what they do. But then for the other one, it was just really we didn't know what to do on the second dance. We didn't know the black the black sort of spinny black outfit dance. We didn't want to do another staple like a policeman or anything that you've seen before, and we just sort of decided to just freestyle it. And it's Mike trying to break out and do something real and something different, and it doesn't work really for him. He doesn't even strip. He just sort of walks off stage, and it's not a big climactic moment, but it's different. It's different than all the rest of the stuff you've seen him do.